Hi, my name is Trinity Nguyen, and for assignment number 2, I researched about the Hundred Years' War. So this was a topic that stood out to me. It sounded the most interesting to me, and so I wanted to do it on um, the Hundred Years' War. More specifically, the consequences of the Hundred Years' War. So like the aftermath and I have a picture of the Hundred Years' War right here. So a little bit of background. I am going to go into more depth about who was involved and what they did that led to the Hundred Years' War, but this is just a little bit of background. This is a picture of Edward III. It mainly happened because of him, so I added a picture of him. But the Hundred Years' War occurred in the 14th to 15th century between England and France. And Edward III, I'm going to talk more about him in the next few slides, but he basically led England into the Hundred Years' War with France. And it was because he and King Philip VI had like disagreements over territorial possessions in France, and Edward III made a claim to the French throne, which is what led to the the Hundred Years' War. So now the key figures, I kind of just went over them a little bit already, but these are the key figures. So we have King Edward III, and we have King Philip VI. So King Edward III ruled England from 1327 to 1377. Here's a picture of him down here. And then King Philip VI ruled France from 1328 to 1350, which is when he died. And this is a picture of him right here. And now going on to the conflict. So we have territorial possessions, the Duchy of Aquitaine, and the French throne. And so these are basically the main factors that led to the Hundred Years' War. So King Edward III and King Philip VI, they had disputes over territories, especially over the Duchy of Aquitaine. So, and then a little bit about the Duchy of Aquitaine. So Edward III was the Duke of Aquitaine, and so it was So to be specific, they wanted possession over territories, and this included the Duchy of Aquitaine, Scotland, and the Low Countries, but mainly the Duchy of Aquitaine. This is why I have a whole little section for it right here. But to be specific, they wanted possession over Gascony, which was a territory within Aquitaine. So Edward III was the Duke of Aquitaine. Philip VI wanted to bring Aquitaine under French royal control. And Edward III did not like this when in 1337 Philip VI confiscated the Duchy of Aquitaine from him, and then he didn't agree with this. So this is where it led to him invading Flanders in 1337 as well to claim the French throne. And now on to the aftermath and consequences of each England and France. So France is going to be the next slide, but for England, they definitely had a lot of consequences. They lost a lot. They lost a lot of territories. They lost most of their territories. They lost like Normandy and Maine. I have a picture right here of like kind of like a map of the Kingdom of France. So we have Normandy right here. They lost that. We have Maine right here. They lost that. And the 100 Years' War also led England to economic decline. So it affected their resources. Like it drained their resources, and it increased their debt. It disrupted their trade, like wool trade. And then it also destroyed their agriculture. Their agriculture was greatly affected. It caused like a lot of farms and crops to be destroyed and neglected. And then the war also weakened their monarchy. So now for the aftermath and the consequences of France. France didn't have as much like of a horrible aftermath than England did. So instead of an economic decline, instead of an economic decline, they had an economic growth. So the war led them to economic growth since trade flourished. And then it strengthened their monarchy instead of weakening it like England. So yeah, it increased their royal authority. It strengthened their power basically. And now for common consequences. So England and France, they both had like their own aftermaths and consequences, but they definitely had some in common. So for one, they both experienced a demographic decline. They had a lot of loss in their population. They lost a lot of people, obviously, because it was the war, right? And they both experienced social and economic disruption. It caused like displacement of people and disruption of people. And they both also experienced feudalism. So the 100 Years' War led them both to changes in the feudal system, as well as like decline of feudalism. And because this picture basically I wanted to put it to represent the demographic decline, since they like lost a lot of people. So kind of have it like I see this as like, this is France. This is France, and all these people are here. It's like how England lost a lot of people. Okay, and now who benefited more? So we can pretty much conclude this based off everything that I talked about in these past slides right here. So England obviously did not benefit much, right? They lost most of their territories. Their trade was disrupted. Their agriculture was destroyed. Their farms and their crops, their resources were drained. Their debt increased, and their monarchy was weakened. So they definitely did not benefit a lot, while France definitely benefited much more than them, although they both lost a lot of people, but France had more benefits. well, for one, they won the 100 Years' War. It's the main thing. Their monarchy was strengthened, unlike England, and it also, the war also led them to economic growth, unlike England. And then down here, we basically already went over this, but England suffered significant losses. So did France, but England lost more. So, like I said, they lost a lot of territories, experienced economic decline, while France didn't. And their monarchy was weakened while France wasn't. So yeah, France benefited more. And then now for the legacy that the 100 Years' War left behind. So we have like the national symbols, which is like the English flag of St. George and the French flag of the Oriflamme, and then a strengthened government. So each country developed a more powerful government. And yeah, these are my sources. I have these two like articles right here, and then I also read a little bit from this book that I found in Delta's library, online library. So yeah, that is my assignment number 2. Thank you.